Dream, 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 dream.
It's the side
The dreamy eyes.
The dreamy eyes.
I just want to double check to see. I'm going to because nobody's here yet, right? Nobody's here yet. Oh, look. Okay, so we're over in Rumble. Just checking Rumble. That's a working.
All right. You want me to watch the comments there?
I got to get to the comments. Where's my thing? Oh, I got a lot going on here. Oh, Dean's already here. Fuck is all, Dean says. Fuck is all.
Wow.
I got to move stuff around. I've been learning. I have been a-learning.
I know.
All right.
I've seen your live streams.
All right. Do I want to make a
with
backup
Bob.
copy? What's that, Bob?
I said I've seen your live streams with Bob.
Oh, with Bob. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to do with it makes me almost want to start another podcast where I bring in other podcasts. Why do I talk about this now? Why don't we just start the show?
Why don't we?
Damn it. Mike Pellerito. Oh, see, now I got to move this up a little bit. See, look how nice that is. I actually want it there because I kind of set this up. All right.
It's a little hard to read, but it's not.
I
oh,
know.
my God, Dean.
Keep talking. Let me put that up there. Sorry.
You can play these over and over. You don't need live.
It's true.
Just
you can
download the podcast as you should.
Here already. There we go.
Hey, Sparky.
Joaquin Synthetics is here. Love to see Joaquin. That name I can remember. I can remember Joaquin. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
That tree. Well, your fun aunt has returned.
Got it. Nope.
I know. See, I can cut this all out. It's not a big deal. It's the Duchess and the Sidekick. Oh, that's the truth. That is the truth.
True.
I will put this at the end of the podcast. This will be kind of, after we fade out, this part will go at the end. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, look who fell out of that coconut tree. Well, your fun aunt has returned. The fun has been rebooted. Too fun, too furious. I am so happy to be campaigning in whatever swing state I'm in, which I will just refer to as Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Because I am going to protect your Georgia. You see, my campaign is like the Sabrina Carpenter song, Espresso. The lyrics are vague, but the vibe slaps. And sure, I like to laugh. I do. But let me tell you something. If you start talking nonsense to me, I'm gonna hit you with one of these.
Folks, I haven't been this excited since I got a 10% rebate on a leaf blower from Menards. What can I say? I got that BDE, Big Dad Energy. You see what I did there? You get it?
I got it. I didn't want it, but I got it.
You know, Trump and Vance are weird, all right? And they want the government to control what you do in your bedroom and what books you read. You know, in Minnesota, we have a saying, mind your damn business. We also have another saying in Minnesota, my nuts froze to the park bench.
Folks, that's right. A lot of people forget I'm president, including me. But guess what? And by the way, I think I did a pretty good job. I passed more bills than any president in history. But folks, we still got work to do, no joke. I'm being serious right now, come on. And guess what? And by the way, the fact of the matter is, the rich don't pay their fair share. They gotta pay the fair share, we gotta build back better. The build back the better, the better part the better. Build back the better, can't believe it's not.
From the wackos on the left to the MAGAs on the right, they know I'm beating Kamala, this race won't even be tied. Her policies are nutso, she's out her goddamn mind. She just repeats the same thing, regurgitating her lines. She thinks that immigration without paperwork is good. Clearly not too much power underneath Kamala's hood. Borders are, it's what you are. borders are. Cackling Kamala, you're dumb. Mass inflation imminent if she weasels herself in. If that don't sound like fun to you, then you better help me win. I promise I'll secure you, you'll be in better hands. It'd be a flippin' free-for-all with what Kamala plans. Borders are, it's what you are. Borders are, laugh it up, Kamala. This lady, she's cackling great.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Boomer Bunker. I am the Duchess. Speaking on behalf of John Jamingo, everything we say or discuss on this show is for entertainment purposes. If you disagree with anything either of us says on this show, and you're not operating motor vehicle or under the influence of alcohol or narcotics, please feel free to tell us your thoughts in the chat. If you're listening to this as a downloaded podcast file, you can write to us at boomer.bunker@gmail.com or tweet us at boomer_bunker on X. My advice is to look at the world we live in, realize you complaining to us about it isn't fixing anything, and then continue on with your life. If anything we say during the show offends you, please feel free to watch a different stream, shut the podcast off, or smash your device with a hammer. Boomer Bunker is not liable for damages to equipment by choosing the latter. If you have made it this far into the show and have decided you can live with these terms, then by all means, give your balls a tug, slap yourself in the face a few times, grab a cup of whatever pisses you off, and please enjoy the show.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Boomer Bunker, the podcast. It's not friends with school shooters. I am one of your hosts, John Jamingo. And over there, that person over there, Captain Giggles over there, my podcast partner in crime. She stepped out on me last night with the Shiznit podcast. I caught her cheating. Ladies
I
and
should say I
gentlemen,
caught you.
the Duchess. How you doing, Duchess?
Good evening. It was a big surprise to see you on BT's podcast last night. The live
We
stream.
haven't talked about this since it started, but so Brian sends me a link and says, hey, we're doing a 5-minute thing. And I'm like, I don't know anything about wrestling. I love Brian.
Yeah.
We did find out a lot about what he thinks of this show last night, which was funny.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, so I did find a story about wrestling. So I said, all right, I'll come on. Trust me, I could do 5 minutes on anything, which he said, do it. So then he brings me in. Who's in there with him? The Duchess. Sitting right there. I was like, oh. Hey, it was like I walked in on my wife with another guy. I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? You didn't even tell me.
You didn't tell me. Who's calling who a cheater? You didn't tell me you were going on.
I'm a guy. I'm hanging out with my buddy. I don't have to tell you I'm hanging out with another guy.
I certainly don't. It was just funny because I bopped into the StreamYard link, and then like 10 seconds later, he pops John in, and I was like, John! It was so funny. You look just as surprised to see me. We were both like, what?
What was that? What the hell? What's going on there?
What was that all about?
All right. So, listen, I've been playing around with what we use here to run the show, and I've been taking classes, and I've got new things going on here. So, hey, listen, we're going to have a little bugs I got to work out. I'm trying different things to make it easier for me. Like I can switch cameras now. This is the Duchess's favorite angle. I can go back to this one and over to this one and all this other good stuff. So I have all that. And the thing, I always get upset because I don't think people like when things go wrong on a podcast and, they start talking about it. Well, I have to tell you, I listened to a show called, it's actually a YouTube channel called No One Likes Onions. The reason I do that is because he goes all in on Aaron M. Holt and just berates him. It's amazing. So
Jason Almey's asking what kind of classes.
It is Ecamm Live. It's Ecamm Live.
Nice.
So,
okay.
And what I did, everything you see right now is all brand new. It's all built and it's all brand new. Everything. Every scene we're going to do, it's all brand new. So I don't think that when someone has problems, it's fun to listen to. Well, the guy who's been podcasting for, he says 20 years, I don't know, he changed his whole audio setup and he went to a Rodecaster Pro. and he had nothing but problems with it last night, and he would not stop. His ADD kicked in. He was like, I got to fix this. And I could not stop listening to it and roared through the whole thing. I'm like, oh my God, is this what I sound like?
Yes, a little bit.
The first 25 minutes of it was some of the best YouTube channel stories I've ever seen. So anyhow, we're going to get in that. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We have so much.
So much. The debate was on last night. We were going to try to, I said, hey, would you guys want us to live stream this? And I got Budvugger's like, yes. He was the only one. I'm like, well,
I know.
Don't be wrong. Love Budvugger, but I'm not going to go in there and just do this for Budvugger. And you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because I got a chance to really pay attention to the.
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to ask you, Duchess, because I guess this is what we're going to get into first. What did you think about the debate? What were your thoughts on the debate?
Well, I think overall, if I had to pick who came out ahead, it was definitely J.D. Vance. He remained calm. He was able to discuss the issues. Did he tap dance around a few things? Yeah, but you expect that. It's a debate, and you're very limited on time. I just appreciated the way he answered things, and I liked the fact that, and I'll give Tim Walz some credit. They were very civil and very engaging with each other, and I like that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of like attack segments, like that type of thing. So, but I did like it. I disagreed with a few things. Of course, there's always some topics that, everybody has their own topics. So there was a few things I disagreed on, but for the most part, no, I have some,
of course,
it's disconcerting on the issues on that, but
I'm so sick of talking about it. I just want it over with. God, these broads will never shut the fuck up. Yappy, yappy, yappy. My body, my choice. Man. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care.
I know you don't.
There's so much more going
on. Then let us fucking do what we want.
But you know what? Fine. You know what?
Fine.
You women, here's the problem with women and any kind of thing that they want. They don't shut the fuck up about it until you're just like, I don't care. I don't care. Go ahead. Rip it out. I don't care. Pull it out of your vagina, put it on the table, and hit it with a fucking hammer. I don't care. Shut up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What was that? What were you talking about?
But I'm the one that talks and yells about it. Okay. It's 30 seconds of ranting.
You women drive us fucking crazy. And there's not a guy in this audience or not a guy that's listening to this that's sitting there going, he's right. I'll tell you, the other day we were talking something about my wife and she wanted something. And I'm like, I don't think we should do that. And she just nag. And you're finally like, oh, if this will shut you the fuck up, I'll do it. I don't care what it is.
Wow. Sounds super healthy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great. How long you been divorced, John?
Grumpy old man living in a basement, but okay.
I don't live in a basement. Well, you know what?
You kind of do.
I kind of spend more time down here than I do any other place. But yeah, okay.
You're like the basement dweller. We change your name to Jamingo the basement dweller. Yeah. Well, that's where all your stuff is. That's like your podcast dungeon, literally dungeon. So
it is.
No, it's. I am very much looking forward to the election being over. Because
it depends on the outcome.
Well, yeah, of course, if it's the proper outcome, but it's exhausting because it's just, and the ads haven't even started yet. Like they've started, but they're not going to be anything. Give it like 2 weeks before, and we're just going to be pummeled. But I think JD Vance did a good job.
Louise is absolutely right. Women's nag until compliance. Mm-hmm. That is absolutely 100% true. John will glow in the dark from all the radon he's taking in. Oh, yeah, that's right. I never checked down here. Maybe there is radon. Oh, whatever. I only got a few more times left.
Oh, I'm down there next week. I'll see if I have a little detector coming.
Boomer Bob's little group, he says, Boomer Bob, when I get my free housing voucher because I've had 10 kids, it will affect your cost of housing. You can stay at my place. Wait a minute. Let's try this again. Hang on. Boomer Bob, when I get my free housing voucher because I've had 10 kids, she's had 10 kids. That's not true.
No. I think she's just stating, like, as a woman, if she's had 10 kids, it's going to affect your cost of housing. I don't know.
Right.
It's a little vaguey, but I think that's what she meant.
All right. Hey, you know what? Later on, we've got who is this nitwit segment?
Section 8. Mm-hmm.
French kiss, baby. French
kiss. Wow. Who gets that?
Well, I'm sorry.
Eric Zane?
Kiss. Did I say French kiss? Talking about women.
French kiss.
Where the hell's your mind at, John?
I don't know.
Now they want my fucking hat.
Now you're all fired up.
I'm all fired up.
Well, Louise, you can have the hat and the French kiss. How about that?
All right. So
Put that
here's
up
what
for
I.
auction.
Are you done? I'm sorry because I keep interrupting you like a dick. But
Yeah. But women
So-
go on. We go on. That's all.
all right. So here's what I think about the debate last night.
Yes.
I thought I was surprised how well I thought Tampon Tim Wells did. I thought he did a lot better than I thought. Although, he was a little shaky, herky-jerky when he first got out there.
Oh, my God, right? He's twitching.
Yeah. And
Disconcerting to watch him.
And they hit him with a question, and he, he wasn't ready for that. But you know something? They again
The panicked eyes was just... Sorry. I know. Jesus.
So, and then he did the word salad. We might as well get into this now because I can do the debate thing. So the first thing he does is he comes in and he's like, "Hey, it works for Kamala. Let me try a word salad." Here we go.
You said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska,
I hate this.
Town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service.
Service.
No one cares.
Service to ride around with your bike in France. The little street.
He cannot speak under pressure. He panicked. Like almost every question he answered. They both of them did that whole, like, I was brought up in the middle, that whole middle class or low income, whatever, which is super annoying way to start your sentence. But he just could not get through it. Every question, he just, like you said, he vapor locks. He was just like, let me get this out. And then he almost forgets what he has to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I agree.
I think they had to remind him one time, like, that's not what the question was.
Right,
And he was
after
like,
this
oh,
hit.
yeah. Oh,
It was right
yeah.
after this one.
Oh.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
Joined the National Guard at 17, worked on family farms, and then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher, passionate about it, a young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. We would take basketball teams, we would take baseball teams, we would take dancers, and we would go back and forth to China. The issue for that was to try and learn. Now look, my community knows who I am. They saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect. And I'm a knucklehead at times, but it's always been about that. Those same people elected me to Congress for 12 years. And in Congress, I was one of the most bipartisan people, working on things like farm bills that we got done, working on veterans benefits. And then the people of Minnesota were able to elect me to governor twice. So look, my commitment has been from the beginning to make sure that I'm there for the people, to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than...
Shady's there like, what the fuck is he talking about?
All right,
looks like
can we just get to some of the comments?
All right.
Dew says, what's that drop? Get to the fucking point.
Where is it? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's
Deuce,
in... and then... Wait, where'd it go? Pellerito said, Tim looked like Eric Zane when he saw Jamingo's comment pop up. Like, just... I'm a knucklehead. We got to score before halftime and go for it on fourth down.
Get
and it's
to
just...
the fucking point! There it is, yeah.
It's just too funny.
It's
just a
Jody
fucking
over in
riot.
Rumble says he looks like a queer in the headlights. You know what? I'm sorry, but this is what I'm going to do. You know what, chat? I love you, but I'm going to steal your jokes. When you put a joke out there that's really good, I'm just taking it. I'm not going to give you any credit for it.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to credit. I want to be the funny guy on my podcast. I can't have the chat funnier than me. I'm just stealing your
we
jokes.
need their support. We'll need them to keep giving us jokes.
Yeah, I know. But listen, if I use your line and you don't get that,
Thank you.
That should be your credit enough. I used your line. Just telling you that from now on. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to steal somebody's line. Sorry, Jody. All right, here we go. Let's go back to this, the queer in the headlights.
Walz was definitely
Many
at a Diddy
times
party.
I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID, and I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community, and then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this was is I got there that summer and misspoke on this, so I will just, that's what I've said.
I lied. I just lied.
So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
Yeah. What is it they say? Those who can do and those who can't teach.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite is when when they did the follow-up, he's like, well, I just blah, blah. And then he stood there for a moment and it was just silence. So he's like, I have to keep talking. And so he just kept going and going and going to fill the silence. I was very uncomfortable watching him because I was in my brain. I was like, oh God, he's so fucking up. It's so like, I couldn't imagine being in the spotlight like that. Like that would center stage and he's already fucking it up. Like,
but he has
20 minutes in.
He is, if you elect him, he's one step away from the presidency.
I know.
Now,
I know.
Here's the other thing.
He can't get his words out. I mean,
yeah. So here's what I think. I would like it if they got rid of Trump and Harris and had JD run against Walz. To me, I would rather have JD as the president than Trump. Just because, now don't get me wrong, I understand Trump is an entertainer, but he can't do what JD. JD was a masterful way of debating. He
was very, he did it very well.
He took the questions and they tried to get them. They tried again. January 6th. How many times we got to talk about January 6th? And then, see, this is where I felt that JD stumbled, and to the same point Walz stumbled, is when they tried to make them explain what their running mates did. So, they asked him the question of, what about the 2020 election? I would have been, again, I can't.
Why don't you ask him?
I would have said, are we talking about the 2020 election again? Trump doesn't believe he lost. Okay. Yeah. And so he says that. And so you say that there's no evidence. Well, there's kind of a lot of evidence if you look for it. But you guys won't do your job and look for the evidence. So there is no evidence when you don't look for it. All right.
Well, Hillary still maintained 2016 was taken from her.
Yeah. Okay.
Were we talking about that? It was stolen from her. It was a stolen election.
Right. He was an illegitimate president.
Yeah. So, is that the same thing? Kind of
like the illegitimate child that Kamala Harris's husband had with the babysitter. That's the kind of the same thing.
Well, there's more story to that.
We're worried about 2024. The 2020 election was 4 years ago. We can't go back and change what happened there. It doesn't matter. Trump left on the 21st of January, like he was supposed to. Yep. And you know what? We'll be ready to move back in again on the 21st of January. And he only has one more term, so he's going to leave after that. So you guys don't have to worry about any of that stuff, but you still like to harp on that. So here we are. Again, that's just the way I feel about it.
Yep.
All right. So remember, we have this is our segment. The can't understand normal thinking segment. All right.
Thinking?
So, thinking. I remember.
I got it right.
See, I told you.
Good job.
Back and redid everything. All right. So after the debate, I went to listen to all the shows afterwards, the after debate shows. I listened to Fox. I listened to Megyn Kelly. I listened to CNN, and I went over to MSDNC. And as soon as it was
my
over,
God, they were bonkers.
Rachel Maddow. When I listened to this, my jaw hit the floor. This is what she said.
I think the big picture takeaway from this is that one of these candidates is much slicker than the other, is a much more practiced kind of professional debate style speaker, and the other candidate won.
candidate won. Were you watching the same debate I was watching? How the fuck does that even happen?
Clearly out of her mind. Clearly. She's so biased. She can't even.
God. Sparky, I'm with you. I can't stand that. Can't understand normal thinking. That's the truth.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was shocking that some people maintained like, oh, Walz did great. No, he didn't. He was sweaty and stammery. He looked scared to death on a couple occasions. I mean,
yeah, he looked like he was coked
there's
out,
so many camera angles. Yeah, there's so many. That camera is on you all the time. And my favorite were the split screens. When he would just, like, every time JD would say something, he'd be like, he'd write it down. I think JD, wrote something down a couple times. Like, he had it, which is impressive. He was able to respond, like, so quickly, so on the fly.
My favorite was he's sitting there and he's looking at Walz talking, and then Walz would say something, and he would look back at the camera like,
oh, it would like fourth wall break. It was wonderful. It was like in The Office when they like look at the camera. I was like, oh my God, it's so brilliant. Like, and the memes that are going to come out of that are going to be are amazing. And it was, like in Deadpool or anything else. He just him not turning his head, but just cutting his eyes a bit. I was like, fabulous. I mean, that was just great. So,
all right, so let's listen to Rachel.
There was one bad moment for Tim Walz in this debate where he got mixed up and embarrassed in answering a question about exactly what month he had been in China in relation to the Tiananmen Square protest. But then on
just that.
Guns, on January 6th, on Obamacare, on the economy, on blaming everything on the border, back again on healthcare, on abortion, on every issue on substance. J.D. Vance was very polished and very slick, and Tim Walz beat him on all the substantive points.
Beat him. He beat him. I like, again.
Maybe beat off to him, but I don't think he beat him. That's
so
absolutely not.
Yeah. So what'll happen is they'll take these and they'll post these clips all over social media to the low IQ or the people that aren't paying attention, and the ones that, and they'll say, oh, JD won. But if you watched it, it wasn't even close. It really wasn't even close. And to me, this should be illegal. What she's doing right here should be illegal. It really should be. I mean, this is propaganda to the 10th degree. But that wasn't the best. The best was when Michael Duncan Clark got on the thing.
But he said, number one, nothing memorable.
All right, Michael Duncan Clark. I mean, Joy Reid. She starts. And the thing about Joy Reid that cracks me up is this woman has not got one thing right in her entire life, especially that haircut. Jesus
That's why she's on MSNBC. So
right. I've never seen a manlier man in a woman.
No, Michelle.
Just slop off. Now, you know what? Michelle Obama actually does look like a woman. Not this broad. Here we go.
But he said, number one, nothing memorable. There's nothing clippable in what he said. They were just all smooth, bland lies. He got outdone by Tim Walz, who may be awkward.
Got outdone by Tim Walz. You're getting right.
It took him a while to get warmed up, but he won the debate because he actually had substance. He was relatable, and he didn't go in there to slay J.D. Vance. He went in there to show himself, and he showed himself to be bipartisan. He showed himself to be reasonable. Practical. He showed himself to be practical. He acted as a governor. And a lot of people are complaining that he didn't knock J.D. Vance out and that he wasn't rhetorically cruel. But that was not his job. It was obvious that his job was to sell Kamala Harris as president.
Poorly.
He did that very well. He won the debate.
He did that so poorly. There was no comeback to that. And I love that. First of all, I think J.D. Vance is very respectful. He could have taken
oh my God, he definitely could.
Tim Walz down a few times, and I think he was very gracious in his responses. So I think the two of them were okay. But it's just like, what was the line she said? He performed. She kept saying he kept performing. I'm like, no, he did terrible. He did terrible. Nobody wanted to see what he was performing. It was not good.
So then I went on TikTok afterwards, and it's just the people that were on there saying that Walz had won and he had just embarrassed J.D. Vance and all. And I'm sitting there. So, of course, I wade into the comments like Leroy Jenkins. And Yeah, and they're like, and I should know better, but I don't. I don't know any better.
No, you do know better, but you don't care.
Well, no, I don't. I don't care. I don't. I enjoy the back and forth. I do. So,
is there back and forth, or they just yell at you and then block you?
Well, I mean, listen, we're old. We have, I'll be
we got time.
I'll be 63 next month. I'm old. I like to, I'm very emotional about what I do. And I think as you get older, your emotions come out, and you don't give, like before you're like, oh, I can't do that. When you get to be my age or older, and you don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. You don't give a shit. I don't care.
The brakes come off. Yeah, I get it.
That's all. So I watched this
passionate.
Thing where on Tucker Carlson, he had Roseanne Barr on there. And she had a Jamingo moment.
She is fucking crazy. She is a crazy woman.
Listen, she is crazy. She's she's batshit crazy. But this made me cackle. I must have watched this 30 times. I love this, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Do you know Tucker? Tucker, I better shut up.
No.
Do you know how many people I had? Do you know what I do? Do you know what I've done since they stole that election in 2020? They gave us a goddamn COVID so we'd send in those mail order ballots and all that bullshit, and the post office cheated too. Everybody in this country cheated us out of our president in 2020. They made us sick.
Here she goes.
I'm sorry.
Go, baby.
They overthrew the United States of America.
Oh, my God.
They overthrew the constitutional republic of the United States of America. And then they covered it up with their January 6th bullshit. With their insurrection! Because the first thing President Trump did, God bless that man, and I love him, and everybody knows it. I love him more now than I ever loved him, and I loved him pretty damn good. He drove me out in a Bentley when I did my second HBO special at Trump Palace in Atlantic City, if you've seen it. He's always been a good friend and a good man, and to me, and to a lot of other people. And what was I saying? I'm old. I forget what I'm saying.
I saw that screaming stopped stopped her heart from working for a bit.
She stood up and grabbed.
She's had like a mini stroke. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to pull the video, but apparently he made it where you can't use the video, which I understand. Yeah. But my gosh.
Well, him giggling through the whole thing is funny.
Jody says she started and she just ran out of gas. What was I saying?
She got dizzy. Her blood pressure went like whoop, 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 and she's like, "Oh, I got to sit down now."
Here we go. Sparky says, I can't forgive Roseanne Barr for spitting on the ground after making a disgrace singing of the national anthem. Even though it was 30 years ago, it's like spitting on the graves of the veteran. Okay, Sparky Toaster, listen, you know I respect you. You know I love you. She went out there.
They hired a comedian. They hired
a comedian to go out there. And I don't think she was spitting because that's what, and she grabbed her balls, which she doesn't have, but she grabbed her crotch and spit on the ground like baseball players do. I think it was taken out of context at the time. Did she sing the national anthem?
Yes. She screamed it singing.
She did. But I mean, to be honest with you, I hear people singing the national anthem that can't sing a lick. I'm going to tell a story about my grandfather. All
right, hold on, hang on. Because I think they hired her and I think she did the worst thing with the national anthem. And I know they thought it was probably a joke. I would think that the people who hired her at the ball field did not think she was going to spit and grab her, lack of balls.
She's a comedian.
So I understand that. So that didn't turn out too well for her. But I kind of agree with Sparky a little bit. I mean, I can get past her, but she's not top of my list on any kind of comedian. but it was disrespectful. But I don't think I don't want to give her any credit, but I don't know if she thought about it like to be disrespectful. I thought she just thought it'd be funny to act like a ball player.
Yeah,
And
I get it.
Clearly a fail, but that's my
So my grandfather,
your grandfather,
Tony Sr., he used to call up every Sunday morning. He would call up at 8:00. The phone would ring. It was Pop. Pop would call up 8:00. My dad would say, "Get the phone. It's Pop." So I'd pick up the phone. "Hey, Pop, what's going on?" And this is where we got the Jimmy. This is where it came from. This is my grandfather. Okay, my grandfather talked like, and this is where we got the voice. My grandfather started it, went to my uncles, and now every time we talk about any family member, we get the, it's the Jimmy voice, right? So you pick up the phone. "Hey, Pop, what's going on? What mass you going to? Not are you going to church?
Which one?
What mass you
Yeah.
going to? Which one? Which one we going to?" And I say, "I think we're going to 10:00. All right, I'll be there." So my grandfather would come in, and he would sit in there with the pew, and then the music would start, and he would sing every hymn at the top of his lung. Amazing grace.
But he had the spirit in him. I can forgive that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, me and my sister are trying to crawl under the fucking
Dying,
pew
right? Dying, laughing.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck. He was in there, every prayer, top of his lungs. "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom." The whole thing.
Everybody knew which one was your pew.
Oh my
right?
God! Yes.
It's that Jamingo family.
All right. So.
Ish.
So this is going to be a thing to Pop. So my grandfather, he was in the Navy. He was in the VFW. There's a Navy garrison in our town. He was like the president of that. So when he retired, they threw a dinner for him. And the governor at the time of New Jersey was Jim Florio. You remember Jim Florio, right?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Jim Florio comes and gives a speech for my grandfather because he knows my grandfather. So then
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
My grandfather gets up to say, "Now it's me. I'm 20-something.
Right.
Me, my girlfriend, my sister, my dad, Big T, my uncle, my Aunt Janice, my Uncle Leonard, Helene. All the kids are there. All the cousins are there.
Right.
Whole family's there." He gets up and gives the most embarrassing speech that I've ever. I still, just thinking about it now, I cringe.
Oh no!
Oh, it was. He got up. He goes, "Hey, that's the first thing I want to say is, what about this governor? He should be president. The man should be president. And Jerry back there in the kitchen, the chicken was excellent." He says, "I want to
Sounds like
thank
Donald Trump. He just rambles.
He goes, "I want to tell you, first of all, my oldest son, Tony, he's got the garage. Listen, if you need any of your cars fixed, just go over to the garage there." And we're like, "Oh, Pop, come on."
He's plugging his business.
Right. He says, "He's my oldest. My second, John over here, he paints fences." We're like, "What the hell is he talking about?" So then he sits there, he goes,
his job.
It's 13 years between my two boys. My wife said she'd never have another kid, but it took me 13 years to corral her." And we're like, "Oh my God, Pop, stop."
He's talking about railing your grandma. That's so
Yes.
awful.
Jesus Christ, Pop, what'd you do? Caught her in the shower? What happened? Pop, all right. That's kind of what happens when you get old. It's just the old thing. You know what I mean?
The brakes come off. You just. Well, he
my God.
obviously didn't have anything planned, and he just went up and literally shot from the hip there. Oh my God!
Poor Pop.
So was your grandfather a Democrat? Because
Oh my God! This is where I got my grandfather would vote for Hitler if he was on the Democratic ticket. My grandfather was if my grandfather
Gotcha.
right now saw me in a Trump hat, if he was still
He would
alive and knew
shoot
that
you,
I was
probably.
voting for Republican, he would slap this hat right off of my head. My grandfather, his hands were so big. It was like when he grabbed a hold of it was like a bear grabbed a hold of it. His hands were huge. His wedding ring, you could drop a $50 through my grandfather's wedding ring.
oh my God,
His hands were, he had paws.
it's like a bear.
Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, he was and he worked he was a diesel mechanic over at the Navy Yard for years. So my dad, I guess my dad, you know what? My dad, my dad was kind of like me. We were like, hey, who's going to do the best job? We don't give a shit, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I got yelled at today because we were talking about the longshoremen strike. We're going to get into that, and they said, "Well, you're a union man. How, what are your thoughts on this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think I'm on the union side on this one." But anyhow, when you get older, you get, because that's what's going to happen to me. One day I'll be in here podcasting, I'll lose, and I'll be screaming like popping. And you know what, Dutch? You should just come over here with a baseball bat and hit me behind the ear and put me out of my misery. Or just come over. Come over and just take all my stuff out of the basement and take it over to your house and just continue podcasting. Just take it away from me. It's like we had to take Pop's keys away from him. He couldn't drive anymore. I get to be too old.
Take all your mics.
Yeah, take all
my.
The
problem is you have Amazon access. You'd be like, I just buy new ones. I don't give a shit.
Sitting there on a computer with a lollipop, thinking I'm on the screaming.
We'll just give you something like Jimmy, and you'd be like, these buttons are so small. Yeah, like you won't be able to do
Jimmy
anything.
comes down the steps today. He comes down the steps.
The Jimmy.
He says, I was going to try to go somewhere, but I come down to I got to go to the bathroom. Let me use your bathroom. Okay, there you go. There's the bathroom.
I was trying to go somewhere, but I'm coming to your house to take a shit.
He left his house, which is right behind me, and then drove up here and said, I don't think I'm going to make it. As you're older, you just
I got a quarter mile away.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
I got that cramp. You know that cramp? It means you got to get your asshole over a toilet seat within 2 minutes or you're going to shit your pants.
He's a classy
Jimmy,
fella.
I know. I get you. I'm with you. We're getting there. I just remember this is the stuff that would happen to my family. And I know we're going down the same road. Like, I know that I'm going to have really, really bad dementia someday. And I told my kids, just pillow, face, hold it down until I stop twitching.
Yeah, just sit on the pillow. It's all good. Just crush it. Just.
Okay.
Problem is you're strong, so like that you need a couple of your kids to like be in agreement with it. Because the problem is you got a couple that like still really love you, and they're like, no, we can't do that to Dad. And then the older one's gonna be like, fuck him, and then he's gonna hold that pillow down. And you get Johnny on, and he's gonna be like, whatever, I don't care.
Just let John do it. He's strong enough.
He's strong. Yeah, strong like ox.
Fuck that.
Holy
Give me that
shit,
pillow.
Balls, you scared me. Are you okay?
Paul's here.
Right. Oh, hang on. Oh my God, he just appeared next to me. Scared the hell
Should
out.
I hold on? Let me mute your mic so you don't have to. We don't have to find out what's going on here. What's that? Oh, she muted her own mic. I got you. Uh-oh. Here's Paul. Hey, Paul. Paul kind of looks like what's his name? Tim on Tim. A little bit. It kind of does a little bit. No. Get Paul a mic. That's what they're saying. There we go. It does look a little bit about, Walz. Paul Walz. Louise is right there with me. Paul Walz. I don't know. They look like divorce papers. No? I've had enough of you podcasting with that asshole Jamingo. Here, I'm out of here. Hold on. Please hold on. Where is it? Like, here it is. You okay over there?
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, it has to be important for Paul to come in here.
He scared the shit out of me. I just turned around. I'm not explaining all, but I just turned around and he was there. So if you saw me visibly go, like, it was not. It's not a cease and desist. I was like, oh my God, am I getting served? Like he had a very serious face on. I was like, holy shit. First of all, he does not look like Tampon Tim. Thank you very much. He's a bit slimmer than that.
I just said, from the, because he was standing up. We only got a little bit of him. So I was like, oh, look, Tampon Tim's over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. So I was like, no, he would not be happy with that. So.
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult
No, I feel bad. Like he doesn't ever interrupt me on stuff.
No, he doesn't.
So
and,
I was like,
I don't know
like,
too many husbands that would.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I don't know too many husbands that would allow that to happen.
Allow?
Yes, allow.
Allow. It's It's interesting.
I just stepped in it. I did. I know what I just did.
Yeah. Okay.
Here it goes. Joaquin Synthetic says, "Hey, I just found the divorce paper. You're leaving me for Mike?" I don't know about that.
That would have been what Paul would have said. I found your divorce papers, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh my God! Look at Duchess over here. Can I have the first dinner date after the divorce? Wow, you guys, you don't let anything even get cold, man.
Well, I didn't think that would be a thing. All right, I'll mark it down. Thank you, Sparky. Holy cow. No, he wanted to ask me a question about a reporter, so for political stuff.
There we go. All right, that's fine.
About the internet with Professor Tom.
What's this now?
Oh, Tom and I were going back and forth on Discord.
He found out about the internet affair with Professor Tom. There you go.
You found me out. That's it. I talked to everybody.
I will be rendezvousing on the back deck next week. Eh?
That's true. Lisa will keep him company.
Next week it is? I got to get this whole place cleaned up and straightened out by next week.
Uh-oh. Oh, panic.
Amazon boxes will be flying in here. All right,
Mega made.
Back to the show.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to derail it.
No, it's fine. All right, so since we're in the middle of this, I want to show you a scene which I call men rule and women drool. So here we go. And you know what? Here's the problem. Men, we're problem solvers. We get shit done. Women, they just complain about things until men get shit done. So, all right, Duchess is over having a chat with Jody.
Well, I wanted to address Jody's comment, and he does tolerate me.
He does. All
He
right.
does.
So here we go.
So Jeremy has decided that shopping at Aldi is annoying, the logistics of getting everything home, and so he has bought contraption.
All right, so if anybody's ever been to Aldi's doesn't give you any bags, all right? And then you got to use a quarter to get the shopping cart. So you go in there, and then you got to take it at the very front of the store. There's boxes, and you got to try to box your shit up and get it out to the car and all this stuff. So this gentleman here,
I honestly don't know how that's a hard time. Really, it's not difficult. That's why their prices are so cheap. Yeah.
Whatever. All right. So the guy has this thing. It's a folding cart with 2 baskets in it, which is amazing, right? And she's over
like
there,
a double decker. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's over there poo-pooing this. I think this is fantastic. And this guy knows what's going on. So he's got to go in there with her to do the shopping. So there
The
he is.
millennial dad version of like the Nana shopping cart. He's so proud of it too.
Look at that thing. That's amazing. It's a little folds up. Let's go shopping.
With you.
Here we go. We're going shopping. He's got everything in there. Look at him. He's all proud of himself. Throwing stuff in there. Now he
That's
goes
a
to
large
checkout.
Aldi.
Right. He's getting all checkout. Everything back in the cart. Look at this.
Bags? No problem.
Yeah, no bags, no boxes or anything like that. Handle.
Pretty good.
Right in there. Folds it up. Right in there. And I have no idea why she's sitting there
Still
poo-pooing
can't
this.
take you seriously though.
This man's a genius. Man's a genius.
What was she complaining?
Well, she's over there saying like, "Oh, look at him! He's so proud of himself with his little cart and his little baskets."
He was. She was filming him. He was proud of himself. She filmed the whole thing. Well, she didn't say shit about him. She didn't say, "Look at this dumb fucker with his
Sparky
plastic
says,
cart."
He saved a quarter.
I have given
says
quarters
it.
away at Aldi, so to like usually to old folks who don't have a quarter. So
It's the gayest shopping experience I've ever seen.
I don't go to Aldi so much, and it's too bad because their prices are really good, but they have weird selections. And I don't mind their off-brand, but some things I buy, I prefer the store brand. I've tried off flavors of other things. So it's just, I end up by shopping like 3 different stores. So I just get tired of that.
I saw a video of someone going into Aldi's, and so they look over at the ingredients and they have like all these biometric ingredients that are in the food. So it's not as, I don't think it's as good as everybody says it is. I guess maybe that's why it's so cheap. I have no idea. Okay. I have a problem. All right.
Just one?
I have a problem with another podcast. Well, not a few, but
One
this
right now.
The one right now. All right. So and the thing is that one of the people in this podcast, I know him, Matt Mish, from the Bromingos.
Okay.
I've podcasted with before. He's been on Rubberneckers, like Matt. Matt's a good guy. I don't
He's
know how
young.
to call it.
He's very young.
Listen, I put him in the same category as I put Edward. He has been indoctrinated into this culture that everybody has, where you can't have an opinion and you all have to worry about hurting everybody's feelings. But the dumbest takes that I've ever heard, and of course I went to, Matt puts in in one of the podcasting retweet groups that are on Twitter that they put me in. And so he comes in and he has this video clip, the one I'm going to show you in just a second. And I listened to this, and of course I waited, because they just no one talks in this thing. They just put in their clips and go watch this, share this, do that. So I watched this thing, and then of course I waded into the DMs like Leroy Jenkins.
Again, oh boy.
And I started a fight in there, and I actually got in a fight with one of the other Bromingos. All right, so here we go. Here is this is their social media clip, and they're talking about Trump supporters.
They're eating the dogs in Springfield. They're eating cats. They're coming out, and they're grabbing your dog, your cat, and they're stuffing it in their mouth.
Because they don't know.
All right, so first of all, Newman is doing... Right,
yeah.
Here we go. Wait a minute.
Don't call him. It's Hunter.
So this is Newman. His name on the podcast is Hoochie Manhunter. I don't think this man hunts too many hoochies. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't know. He just... Doesn't he look like Newman from Seinfeld? Doesn't he?
If you wanted to
All right, okay.
like a
I'm
stretch
going to go
for
to
it.
anybody
Okay.
here that's in the chat that's watching this live. Does he look like Newman from Seinfeld? Yes. Bob's all, yes. Okay, so he's in there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're grabbing the pussies.
They're coming out, and they're grabbing your dog, your cat, and they're stuffing it in their mouth, basically. Because that is just some hum-diddle-dee bullshit.
First of all, I didn't even
From
know
the
Haitians
sound
lived
clip
in
I heard.
Ohio.
Yeah.
I didn't know either.
So Matt comes on and goes, first of all, I didn't even know Haitians lived in Ohio. 20,000 of them in one town. In one town. That's in one town in Ohio. From what I understand, they've also dropped a shitload of them off in Columbus and might be Cleveland or Akron. I can't remember which. All right. So 20,000 just this town. Now, let's just think about this for a second, because, I'm a dumb guy. I'm an old, white, dumb guy. Trump supporter. See, Trump supporter.
Boomer. Right.
Boomer. Why would you drop a bunch of migrants into the population in Ohio? Because Ohio is a bellwether state, and if you can get and it's been Republican for a while, and if you
Time
can
to
get
purple
all
it up.
these-
Yep.
yeah, they're going to purple this up, right? But what do I know? I'm just a fucking moron, right? I know
It's also
nothing else.
Cleveland. Ooh. So yeah.
All right, so here's the coach. Whatever. Hold on.
I didn't even think that was possible. I mean, it's Ohio.
Come on, Matt. Undercover brother with your Mr. T starter set. What the fuck is that?
It's his shtick. They all have a
It's-
shtick. It's fine.
Jesus. Mr. T.
That's not the
starter
issue
set.
you have. Go ahead.
That's part of it.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah.
This is how some people really think. They think that makes sense.
Listen.
They think that that's okay because they don't know. Like so many white people.
Oh, it's the white people. It's us white people. We're the problem.
Finish what he says.
We're
Finish
the
what he says.
white people. We don't, because we don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know. We don't know.
Are so ignorant of their own American history, the country they claim to love so much, the country they care so much about. They are so ignorant of their own history.
Really?
That they
At least
say
we were taught
things
history.
like this. And
Things
don't
like what?
think twice about how stupid it sounds.
Well, there you go, Duchess.
How stupid what sounds? That
I
one
have no
person
idea.
said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating your pets.
Yeah,
and
I
now
would like-
that speaks for all white people?
Right.
Okay.
yes.
Oh no, it speaks for all white Republicans. That's what he meant to say. And somehow that means we don't know American history. Okay. At least we were taught American history, not some bizarre form of history. And I don't believe that gentleman lives in America, actually.
He lives in New Jersey.
Who lives in Germany then?
That's Panama Red. I got him confused too. You know why?
No, I don't listen that
Black
much.
people look alike.
I listen to them. I don't watch them much. And stop saying that. All
What?
right, so
That they all look alike? You don't want to say, hold on. I'm sorry. I missed something here.
They're eating the dogs
Let me get back
in
to,
spring.
Let me get back to Daint. All right, so here we go. So because
Of
maybe I'm
their
wrong.
own American history, the country they claim to love so much, the country they care so much about. They are so ignorant of their own history that they say things like this and don't think twice about how stupid it sounds.
What, that they're bringing in migrants
stupid
by the
what
plane
sounds?
full? I guess they're
I
talking
don't know what that
because they're bringing
chunk
in
means,
migrants by the plane full and they're giving them special dispensation. Is that what I don't know what they're talking about. Like I said, I want to buy a noun to figure out what they're talking about. But again, it's the white people that, and I said, hey, look, I'll come on your show anytime and explain to you three fucking nitwits that anything you need explained to you.
Yeah,
So
they don't.
apparently, Friday at 1:30, I will be going on to the Bromingos podcast.
You are? Oh, boy. Okay.
Buckle the fuck up, ladies and gentlemen. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm not
God.
taking any fucking prisoners over there. So hold on, Sparky.
How did you
says-
get on? Did you wear Matt down?
I whined and bitched at them. I called them pussies. Sparky Toast says, you want to talk about history there, black boy? Did you know that the Democrats who wanted to keep
Sparky.
slavery going and voted to do so? Have you known that? Did you know any of that?
That's it. I don't understand the clip you, and I don't know if that was taken at the right time or the context, but that made no sense.
That's their clip.
No, what I'm saying is where the clip line. I know. Let me finish. This is Hunter spoke something, Matt said something, and then Dante came in, and I don't know if those are all like in conjunction of one conversation. Like each one responded with that, or if it was edited that way. So I don't know. I don't know what Dante was referring to. Like it was just an odd statement for him to say for them to put right there. I don't know what that means, but I mean, I think it's weird. I mean, really, the dog cat thing, I still think that's fucking weird, but and it's very quiet. I mean, you don't hear anything about it on the news. I don't hear anything about it on the news. They're not talking about it, but right now we're full of election, war, hurricanes, disasters, debates. Like things are just getting pushed aside. So it's that whole situation was nuts. But I'd be curious as to what Dante meant by that.
Yeah,
that somehow we as white people don't know our history.
I love a good meme. I love it. I love the fact that Donald Trump says, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating your pets. I love that. And you know what? So it's fun. Here we go.
I made
a number of TikTok users have been posting videos that use AI to translate Adolf Hitler's speeches into English. Let's take a look.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
That's fantastic. That's really funny. Never mind, they're comparing him to Hitler, but I'm sure that was not a coincidence. But that's pretty funny. Oh, okay. Sparky said that's why I said black boy, because he said white people.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. If
right.
we say black boy, that's horrible. That's racist. But
Well,
they can say white people.
Well, they didn't say white boy, so it's just like white people.
If they can say white people,
I understand the context now, Sparky.
yeah,
I get
we
it.
can say
Thank you.
Black people.
We could say that, or we could just use this.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Or
Oh my God.
It's fine. All right, listen.
God.
And Kamala, she's losing the black vote. I'll be honest with you, she's losing the black vote. Eddie Griffin, he don't like her. He don't like her a little bit. I got something from Eddie Griffin's
Just
podcast.
a little. Holy cow.
Well. Kalaya Harris. Can she lie? Yes, she can lie. Every time she open her mouth, there's a mother. Roll it.
I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border.
Speaks for itself. Trump people, contact my people. Come on the show. Let's get it done, man. Kamala, don't come. I don't want to talk to your lying ass. And ABC is in trouble also. They only fact check Donald Trump. They didn't fact check that shit at all. But now you try to set Don up to make him look bad. Think. It ain't illegal yet, but they working on it. You ain't supposed to think. The fact checkers is thinking for you like you can't check and fact check for your goddamn self. Who needs a fact checker? What the fuck is that shit about? Like everybody's a little child, you need those facts checked for you. This ain't school. Can't check my homework. This ain't homework. Fact check. Fact check these nuts.
Oh my God.
Fact check these nuts.
These nuts. Oh my God. Holy shit. So I'm not sure where he stands. No, I'm kidding.
I'm a little upset. A lot of people died since we've last podcasted.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I know. I can't. What happened? I can't find my files. What happened here? Hold on. Now I got to go back to where's my files? Oh no! What did I do?
Oh no!
Oh, where'd they all go? Here we go. This guy. Where's Pete Rose?
Sparky says it's impossible to fact check these days. The fact check sites are one-sided.
It won't let me.
Some of them seem
For
to be.
some reason, it won't let me do this.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Oh no!
Oh, let me see something. Will this work? All right, so this might work. So Pete Rose died. And Pete Rose was a Cincinnati Red. Then he was traded to Philadelphia Phillies. They won a World Series in 1980 with Pete Rose. I was a big Pete Rose fan. You know, loved the Mo haircut from the Three Stooges.
The haircut for the win.
Yeah, he loved the Mo. So he broke Ty Cobb's hitting record, still has it to this day. And the dumb motherfucker bet on baseball. It got caught, and now he wasn't in the Baseball Hall of Fame, which is, to me, a tragedy. It is a tragedy. Probably one of the best, greatest baseball players to ever play the game. So here
it's insane. There's people who have broken more rules, like Barry Bonds. Who is it? With Mark McGwire. Yeah, I mean, just with the drugs and the performance-enhancing things, and
all that stuff.
And Pete Rose bet on games that weren't his. Weren't his games.
What they're saying is it hurts the integrity of the game because
please.
Well, wait a minute. So what happens is, let's say Pete Rose starts betting, and like most gamblers, he loses a lot, so he's way behind. So he's got to catch up because he doesn't have the money. So what he says is, hey, listen, I'm managing a game. You guys put all your money on the other team, and I will make sure that other team wins. All right, so that's how he gets back to. That's how he gets back to.
I didn't think he threw his games.
Well, right now there's all kinds of betting, and the Major League Baseball and football,
right?
They're all making millions and millions of dollars,
that's now, but yeah,
on betting sites and stuff like that. Because some states, New Jersey, you can bet now. You can bet on sports. So here's
super convenient. You can just do it right on your phone. You never have to leave your house.
Yeah, parlay this, 6 parlay of all kinds of shit. So here he is breaking the record.
And here comes the main attraction. And they're on their
I love baseball announcers from the 70s and 80s.
Here comes Pete Rose. He's about ready to break one hit away
coming up to the plate.
Ty Cobb's record. Here we go. You know, I don't know if you know.
They'll sound like Phil Rizzuto or something. They all get like that old timey hunky dunky talk.
Yeah, we're going to Pete Rose coming up to the plate.
Great.
Now. I don't know if you remember this, but when Pete Rose would come up to the bat, every time he came up to the bat when he was getting ready to break the record, they would break away from all TV stations and they would bring this up.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is here. So you're sitting at home and all of a
Sparky
sudden
Anderson,
you're watching,
I remember him.
You're watching Happy Days, and all of a sudden,
Pete Rose.
Rose walking toward the plate. The most famous number 4.
There's Marge Schatz, the racist owner of the Cincinnati Reds.
Let's say she looks like Julie Childs.
He's one of the good whiteys we got. Most of my good players are the Dockies.
Terrible. She was terrible. Oh my God.
March with me.
Yeah.
In the history of this game, and trying to make history right here in the first inning tonight.
Hey, Soft.
He levels the bat a couple of times. Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings.
Ah.
Get out! Get out! All right! Hit number 4192. A line drive single into left center field. A clean base hit. And it is pandemonium here at Riverfront Stadium. The fireworks exploding overhead. The Cincinnati dugout has emptied. The applause continues unabated. Rose completely encircled by his teammates at first base.
How exciting to be there for such
Yeah.
such epic events, like with Reggie Jackson, or like when the Yankees, Derek Jeter. I'm sorry, his name just blanked out. But like that kind of amazing records, like just to be part of that is incredible. Like that would be phenomenal. What a great day for Reds fans. Like,
yeah, baseball, all baseball for him to do stuff. Again, there was great when Nolan Ryan took the strikeout record. You know, all these things. But one of the things I didn't realize is Pete Rose could really pull down some poon.
What year was this? Do you remember?
This file again. What's that?
What year did Pete Rose break that record? Do you happen to know?
I think it was in the 70s, late 70s, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. All right, let me see if I can find. Maybe I can do it this way. Here we go. So Pete divorced his first wife, and then when he got to Philadelphia, he got a second wife, and here's his second wife. Hello, not bad, huh?
Oh, the year of spandex. Yeah. Tube tops and spandex. Yay, the 80s.
She had a couple kids there. All right. Then they got divorced.
Wow. Yeah. She's stunning.
She
a
is.
lot younger, I bet. A lot younger.
And let me see if I can find his third.
I bet she was a cokehead. That's a lot of skinny. Look at that ring on her finger. Holy shit.
Right.
That ring on her left hand. Whew.
Then, well, this was the 80s, right? So that was when it.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. All right. So then after he got divorced from her, when he was, I don't know, he was in his 60s or 70s, he ended up meeting this woman right here.
She need a passport? Is that a woman?
Let me see if I can get this here. Yeah, there she is. Look at the cans on that Asian chick. I think they were probably bought.
You go, Pete Rose. That's the ring Rose going to get you. We can only hope.
And then I think he had a couple of children with her too. So there's a lot of couple Pete
Juniors.
Pete Juniors here. I'm just going to drag in. So who else died? Well, there was.
Soft goes. She's super smart though.
Yeah.
Oh, Dame Maggie Smith. Oh.
Who is she? I don't know who everybody made it be.
Oh my gosh! So she's been an actress obviously for years. A humongous English actress. She is a dame or was a dame, I suppose. But she's probably Harry Potter. It's Professor McGonagall. My kids were devastated. They're like, Professor McGonagall died. I got sad text messages from them. They're like, oh no.
Yeah,
and they were just devastated. Well, but they grew up with
this guy
her.
here. This is Taggart from the Beverly Hills Cops.
Terrible.
And
that poor
also,
man.
what do you mean looks terrible? He lost all that weight. He was also in
he
Midnight
looks ill.
Run.
He looks ill. Well, now he's dead.
Well,
but
because he's
he doesn't
skinny.
look great.
But so you're fat all this time. Then all of a sudden you lose weight, so you look good, and everybody says, "Oh my God, look how bad he looks. He looks sick." Okay.
Well, okay, I'm not bashing him.
I don't
He just
know.
didn't look. And then you wrote R.I.P. on him, like,
well, he died.
He looks ill, and then now he's dead. I know, but I didn't think he was that old. So
he's not.
Yeah, Budweiser said she was also in Hook, Sister Act. She was in so many movies.
I don't know.
A lot
I
of
have
Poirot.
No idea who she is. And
Yeah.
then this guy
busy.
here, Dikembe Mutombo. He played
Poor
for
man.
Houston, and then he played for the Philadelphia 76ers. What I remember about him is he was probably one of the tallest people in basketball at the time, and he came from Africa. They went to Africa, and they said, hey, you know what? This guy's so big, he's got to be good at basketball. He wasn't. But he could just stand there and dunk the ball. So what they did, he had a voice like a Cookie Monster. You like to play the basketball and dribble the basketball. Give me the basketball near the rim. I will sugar every time.
Is he going to break his legs to fit him in a cup?
They probably did have to break.
No. I'm sure they have them for very tall people. But holy smokes.
They had to put him on a flatbed to get him over to the gravesite.
My favorite thing about him, it's like his name is so memorable. Like I don't watch basketball. I'm not a basketball fan. But I always remember, you just knew of him because he was such a tall man and he had such a distinctive voice. And I remember when he used to be in the Geico ads, and the first thing that went through my head was when I heard he died, was there was a liners through the thing, and he was running through offices like people were trying to throw their trash in the basket, and he would like run by and be like, no, and smack so you'd miss the basket. And there was one line when he did it, and he went, today, not today. And I could think, I'm like, this poor guy died. And I'm like, not today. Like, it's all I could think of. I was like, poor man.
Well, the one thing that I know about him was that one time he went to dunk the ball, but he didn't realize that his face, it was like, and he actually hit the rim with his mouth and knocked all his teeth out.
Oh, God. It must have hurt so much. Holy fuck.
Yeah, there was chiclets laying all over the court.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yes. Got him. Oh, stop.
I wish I had that reaction.
That must have hurt so much. Oh, man. What got him? I think cancer. A brain cancer, I think. He had a tumor.
Yeah, he died of brain cancer.
Yeah,
yes.
Poor man.
Poor man.
Poor bastard. And a few others.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's the deaths, I think. Oh, and also John Amos from Good Times.
Good Times.
I could have sworn that guy seems like
I thought he was dead.
I could have sworn he was just dead like 4 times. I thought he died.
Well, it was funny because I saw the name come up, like it would start trending. I'm like he's dead, and then I Googled it. He's died. Not. They announced it yesterday, but he died in August.
Oh, really?
Like, what are you waiting? Yeah.
Yeah,
it
was
like
dad on Good Times. Well, he died on Good Times. That's when Florida was, damn you, James.
I tried to watch Good Times. I like the Jeffersons a little more, but I tried that show.
Well, that's because your Good Times was your project.
No, I watch What's Happening all the time. I love that.
What's Happening was more of your middle class. But,
I don't think so.
The Jeffersons, they were uptown.
Shirley.
Like they moved out of Archie Bunker's neighborhood. That's how good they were. Yeah. So.
Yep. And Budbugger says Frank Fritz from American Pickers.
Oh, he died too.
The little bearded guy. Yeah, he had cancer as well. He had some health issues like a couple years back. He had like a stroke or something, and I think I don't know if he ever bounced back. And I know they had like split up like due to some differences, but I thought they were going to get back together.
The Pickers went their own way.
Yeah, and Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson, that's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let me get to Chris Christopherson because I have him here too.
That was sad.
This is Chris Christopherson. Get mad at me. I can't help it.
With Barbara.
What I do? Went to the wrong one. Hold on. Got the wrong.
We should be stacked.
Here. I know. Hang on. Let me get to this one here. No, I know.
There's a funny spoof that they did on A Star Is Born, which is what that image is from. Anybody who can see it, if you Google it, it's a picture of Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand, and they seem topless. At least that's what you see, and then they're kind of leaning against each other. It's very like obviously an intimate pose.
We go. That's
and
when,
Saturday Night.
What's her name was hot? Barbara Streisand. That was when Barbara Streisand was hot.
That is Barbara Streisand. Yeah.
That's
well, SNL did a spoof on this, and they showed it where they were together, and then there was gum stuck in her hair and his beard, and she's like, I can't pull.
Can't get it.
I can't get
he was a very handsome man, from what I understand,
and
he was a
fella.
singer.
Yeah.
He was a singer, but I don't know any of his songs.
The album's called R.I.P. It's John.
The album's
just everybody's dead. Rip, 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 rip.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yes. So
you gonna be with me?
All right, everybody. So that's it. That's all the death notifications for this.
There was a lot though. Like it just seemed like all of a sudden it was like 1 or 2, and then maybe it just kind of popped up.
Yes.
It was kind of depressing.
I know.
It's a bummer.
All right. So here's one of my favorite topics of the night. One of my favorite segments of the week. Duchess, not so much.
It's not.
Who is this nitwit? Your old pal Eric Zane.
All right, so what is our old buddy up to, Eric Zane? So I was watching the other day, and, well, you know how it is with Eric. He's in there, he's doing his show, he's talking to the chat, and so let me know when you think something went wrong.
Pete Rose died.
Now. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. Immediately right now. Go
All
ahead.
right,
I'm
so
sorry.
here he's telling the story about his daughter lost her purse, and her daughter couldn't find the purse, and he was very upset that his daughter couldn't find the purse.
Okay.
And in the middle of the I can't find the purse story, Maize and Blue 27 put in the chat, Pete Rose died. Let's enjoy.
She gets
There you
home.
go. Ding.
And she's like, I can't find my purse. Maize and Blue writes, Pete Rose died. Shut up, dick. I'll get to it. You have been here before. You don't just bust into my show and start fucking giving news, dumb fuck.
Hey,
That's
Eric,
my job.
let me just say something to you, Eric. As a guy that has chat running the whole time, you know what you don't have to do? You don't have to read every fucking chat. All right? Why don't you? He puts in there, Pete Rose dies. God forbid he interrupts your thrilling and entertaining story of your
sure it was
daughter losing
fascinating.
her purse, which really could have been a text. But no, I mean, like, he's in the middle of his daughter lost her purse and didn't know where it was, and he was upset about it. And God forbid a guy in the chat was like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" Maybe I'm going to help this guy out. I'm going to give him a
change the
story.
subject.
Yeah, I'm going to change the subject that maybe the people that are in here that might enjoy. I'll put in Pete Rose died, not Eric. He sees that.
Don't
and
derail the show.
He can't let it go. He can't not read a chat. I got to read every chat. So here we go.
They're not even
Have you
super
lost
chats.
your mind? How many times do I have to go through this with people?
A
All right,
lot.
chat. Hold on, chat. You're going to get an education here.
Oh, I see.
It's going to get. Oh my God. I am going to teach the chat again. Once again, I have to stop the show. And I'm pissed because I was right in the middle of a riveting lost purse story. I will stop the show to educate the chat once again because of Blaze Maze 27 or whatever his name is, the guy that likes Michigan.
Last thing you want to do when I'm doing my goddamn show is to come in here and say, hey, guess what? I got news. Jeremy did this yesterday. I politely told him to knock it off. Now I'm getting annoyed.
Now.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you? That guy wrote something in the chat that he found out that Pete Rose died, and now you're screaming at him like a fucking lunatic.
Or maybe you just turn off the chat stream.
Yeah, he wrote Pete Rose died, and here you are screaming at this poor guy. What the fuck?
Dean says, John, Eric already covered this. Move on.
Yeah, Eric covered this.
He
don't
screamed
worry.
at him. I'm sure it gets better.
Chris
Way to
says,
grow your fan base.
leave it to a Michigan fan. Exactly.
Maize and Blue 27.
Okay.
Chris says, leave it to a Michigan fan.
That's what this is. Michigan fan can't help it. Stupid people. I know Pete Rose died, asshole. If you know about it, I knew about it a day before.
He just died. How did you know about it? Were you psychic? How did you know he died? You didn't know he just died.
God damn. Anyway.
Come on. He just woke the dog up in the background. Dog's like, what the fuck's he yelling about now?
I don't want to have to start giving people timeouts. All I want to do is the show.
Oh, the bad
Time out.
hammer. The
Oh,
bad
no.
hammer's coming out.
Look out, folks.
I wrote my shit down here. And one of the things I wrote on my list, Pete Rose. I'll get to
amazing.
it when the time is right. Can you imagine being at a goddamn show? Let's say a stand-up act, and you're in the front row, and you just blurt some shit out, he's going to kick you right in the fucking throat.
All right.
Hardly. No,
This
because
isn't
all
a
the
s-
stand-ups, they don't
It's
do
a stand-up
that. But go ahead.
show. This is a podcast where you have chatters that come in here. Now, why this whole time that everything's going on? The chat's flowing over here with what a douchebag you are. All right? Am I bringing them up? Am I allowing that to derail the show? No, I'm not. I'm allowing them to do their chat, and we will get to them or we won't. It doesn't matter. I mean, you got your haters over here. Trust me, the line forms to the right. But it just the thing is, he cannot allow the chat. He can't let it go. Like someone puts it in, and it just blows his mind because I was in the middle of telling this amazing lost purse story about my daughter. And why would you put something interesting in, like the guy who, Pete Rose, who broke the all-time hit record, who got thrown out of baseball for gambling, that has 3 wives and like 7 kids. Why would you interrupt me with that kind of entertainment and screw up my story about the missing purse that I can't get to right now? Because now I have to educate you. You know, here's another thing that Eric does. I'm going to explain a little podcasting, a little behind the scenes stuff.
Oh,
So
do
when
share.
you have a podcast, all right, what you do when you put a podcast out, you get money for advertising. All right. So for every show that you put out, whatever it's called, you get a rate, which is called CPM, which is you get a certain amount of dollars for every 1,000 people that download your show. Now, how would you be able to double your money? Take your 2-hour show, cut it into 2 parts, and put it out the same day.
Oh, clever.
See,
Double
that's what-
dipping.
so you have part 1 and part 2. So what he does, he gets in the middle because he does a 2-hour show. He gets right in the middle. He cuts it off, and he puts out 2 parts of the show so he can get more advertising. Now, some people would say that's smart. Okay, maybe. But the other thing is, it's kind of a ripoff. You're kind of ripping off your advertisers. He doesn't care. Doesn't matter. Well, I guess, if your audience is dropped in half, the next thing you got to do is you've got to put out 2 shows to get that money back up to where it originally was. When Maze and Blue 27 leaves because you just yelled at him in the chat for putting something on there, that you chase away listeners all the time. I'm gonna have to
How
find
dare
out
the
who
audience brings topics to the show that are more entertaining
Hey, all you
than your current conversation.
could be
Shocking.
people that know, if you know that guy, give him the link for the Boomer Bunker. He's more than welcome to come here and put anything he wants in the chat. I don't care.
Well,
there you go.
If you were here in front of me, I would do that now.
Oh, we still
Shut.
You wouldn't do anything. You're a big puss.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're a big puss.
I'm just
You
guessing.
You would not do anything. You wouldn't touch this guy. You would run and call the cops like you call the cops all the time. Oh, somebody sent a T-shirt and a bobblehead to my house.
Oh my God. I'm being threatened. Ooh.
Yeah, somebody
I'm scared.
shared my wife's public Facebook post. Sent someone over to their house, and so just send a message. Somebody parked in front of my mailbox
In a public street. Ooh, during a yard sale. Oh my God.
Just blurt some shit out. He's going to kick you right in the fucking throat.
Yeah.
If you were here in front of me, I would do that now.
You would not.
Shut up, asshole.
I got to pull that clip. That's a good one.
Son of a
He's really
bitch.
popping those peas.
I didn't know what I was talking about. I was telling a story about something. I'm completely derailed now.
Oh God, imagine that.
Well, I
the
don't
most
know if
exciting thing was that he woke up the dog.
Yes.
Who is sleeping through his show.
Well,
There you
Eric
go.
made such a big stink about this that
Oh.
Pete Rose actually heard this from heaven, and I'm praying that this plays, because if this thing doesn't play, I'm fucked. But here we go.
Hey everyone, Pete Rose here. I talked to a few people here who said you guys could help. I was on my last
that
breath
hair.
and reached out to my good friend Maze and Blue 27 on Twitch before I died. I knew I didn't have long, and with all the recent celebrity deaths, I feared my death would be missed. I asked him to spread the word when it happened, which he did. Unfortunately, he did so on the Eric Zane Show podcast. The twat of a twat host was busy talking about a lost purse and laid into my friend for speaking out of turn. It's a fucking podcast. Suck my dick. You know what I mean? Mays just shared my fucking news as a comment, and this fucktard goes into a 5-minute tirade about people not commenting correctly. What an asshole. No one cares about your daughter's inability to look under the car for her purse. You think people are hanging on bated breath on Eric Zane lost purse caper? I'm Pete fucking Rose, motherfucker. My death is more important than your idiot daughter losing her purse. Go fuck yourself, moron. Anyways, a few people mentioned your show up here, and I will be checking it out, especially Duchess. She's got great cans from what I can see.
Oh my God.
If I were still there, I'd love to try skipping second base, rounding third base, and slide in deep at home base with her.
Watch it there, Pete. That is my lovely lady friend you're talking about. I will kick your ass.
Shut up, Mike. You're not even dead yet. Go do a dirty job or something. Anyways, thanks for allowing me to speak on this matter. I must be going now. John Ashton and Chris Christopherson just got here, and we are scheduled to tag Team Eric's mom in a bit. Smell you later. Go Reds.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate that.
Good job, Pete. Oh, Dean says say hi to Devin. Oh, yes,
Yep,
it's
say
not.
hi to
It's
Devin.
not that maze. Not that maze. Not our comment maze. Our
It's
maze.
not?
It's not our.
I don't know who it
maze.
is.
It's some other moron. It's someone who's obviously a University of Michigan fan. So
I can't wait to pull this clip and put it out so we can see it again. I love what I do is I love to pull these things, and what I do is I tag Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, and also Christian Blatt from his co-host from Who Are These Broadcasts. And so I was supposed to go on Who Are These Podcasts.
Good
and
luck,
then
you'll
Who Are
never
These
get on it.
Broadcasts. And they've canceled twice on me now. I have a feeling that Eric will not.
you think
have-
Eric is like, well, I don't want him on there.
Well, he's a big, scary guy. I'll take anybody on. If one
Except
of
the
you
ones,
retards-
yeah.
yeah.
Except the ones I can't.
One of you retards want to come on here and take my job. Come on. All right, I'm over here. Let's talk about it. Not him.
Except
I don't
you.
want him. Yeah. Big, scary
What does he always
bear.
says? You come out, rah. Rah.
Big, scary bear.
Well, Dean's ready to go. So whenever you need him.
Well, the Friday show is with the
Mm-hmm.
Bromingos. That's one thing. But I think
It's the Saturday is the other
next
one, right?
Tuesday. No, Tuesday is when they do Who Are These broadcasts.
No, the
I- I
in-person.
What's that?
The in-person. The
when he goes up to the
in-person
magic
show.
bag. Yeah, I got to get tickets for
Right.
Dean and Mike to go up there and confront him. Let's see how tough he is. I'll kick your ass out in the street.
Real good.
He'll be hiding in the coat rack. He'll be hiding in the coat. So please, someone go over there and talk. Those two
Oh,
guys.
he'll call the police.
Of course he will.
I guarantee he'll call the police. I need security. I'm an important guy. Whatever. Petty little man. Whatever, dude. Whatever floats your fucking boat. Hope your daughter found her purse.
Yeah, she did. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me.
After all that, he
couldn't find the purse, and then she backs out of the driveway, and as she goes to look forward, there's the purse. Here, what happened was she dropped the purse and kicked it under the car and never realized it.
Oh, my God, that's a fascinating story. Thank you so much for sharing.
I'm getting to the Pete Rose story. I've got 2 hours to fill here, and I don't have any material because I don't do any show prep. Sounds
You
like
know-
Roseanne Barr.
You know how that could have easily been avoided? It could have literally been, I saw that too. We're getting to it.
How about not even saying a word? Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You don't have to read every chat. Let it go.
Well,
Him.
Sparky says he was on the edge of his seat waiting for the ending to that story.
Sorry, Sparky.
Now it's like I'm ready for a cigarette. It was just such a good ending to that story. Wow. I don't know what to do with myself now.
You got the vapors, do you?
I got
Or
the
you-
vapors.
Are you still getting the
It
vapors?
was micro.
over Pete
It
Rose
was
and,
Mike.
and Mike Rowe fighting over you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I don't know. Pete Rose with the hair. I don't know.
You don't think you could handle the mow haircut?
There's a comedian I saw, and he was goofing on Asian people, I guess, with like that Bruce Lee kind of shaggy cut. Like at one point, it seemed like very popular in movies, and he said that that was the look. It was like, you know, Bruce Lee, Pete Rose, Bruce Lee, you know. I was like, oh, that's so bad. But like Pete Rose with that haircut, it just it's so bad.
Yes.
So bad. Even in the 70s, that's bad hair.
That was bad haircut. Dean, I would put your comment up there because it's funny, but
no.
Reminds me of something that I was doing here. So I have a lot of podcasting stuff in the background, in the back room over there, and I'm trying to organize it. So I have all these mic cables for different things. So I have one that's a male end to a female end, so that's hetero cable, and then you've got two male ends, that's homo, and then you've got two female ends, and that's lesbo. So I was sorting my cables into lesbo, homo, and hetero, so that I know which ones are which. What's wrong with that?
What if they're both? Like if they're different, are they different combinations? Like do you have one that's one and one the other?
Sure, that's
male female ends.
Male females hetero. Male homo.
I got you.
Female
male homo.
lesbo.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry.
I've covered all three. There is no transbo. There is no transbo.
No transbo. Nice.
No transbo.
Very nice, Joaquin. It's funny. I used to work at one point. I used to sell computers on the phone, and it was all Apple computers. And at the time, it was right when they discontinued all of the desktop computers and introduced the iMac. So all the connections that were old, like they used to call them SCSI cables and stuff like that, none of them would work on the iMacs because they're all USB. So, of course, the cable wars, like all the adapters and everything. So people used to like chain their components together. So you'd have, like if you had a desktop, you would have like an external drive, you would have a scanner, you'd have a printer, and they all like they daisy chained them together. So everybody didn't want to get rid of all their stuff. So we sold cables like crazy. So people would have to describe the cables they have. So it just made me think of like SCSI cables and all kinds of male to female adapters. It was insane to sell those. I made so much money because the conversion rate for selling a cable, which was like 8 cents, but we'd sell them for like $20 because at the time you couldn't get Apple products really anywhere except resellers. Yeah, so I would make a ton of money. And the guy's like, I need cables. I'm like, awesome. Well, let's get a bunch since we'll make it up for your shipping. And, you sell like $100 worth of cables and the margin on it would be like 80%. I'm like, yeah. I always like selling cables. Always good. But anyways, that was that. It's a stupid left turn. That's what you made me think of.
That's fine. It's no problem. Hey, listen, Eric, let me just tell you something. All right.
Go fuck yourself. Fuck yourself.
Who, me?
Don't call me Eric.
I didn't call you Eric.
You did. You said, okay, Eric.
No. I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's not what I meant.
All
right. I want to talk to Eric Zane right now. I'm not calling you Eric. Let me try again. Hey, Eric, let me just show you something. What happened? A while back, Soft Weekly made a comment. I wasn't ready to address it at that point because I was doing something else. But now that's over, and I can go to Soft Weekly comment. And it says, make it quick. Soup party's on. That guy Jinx hates me. Well, it's not only Jinx. There's a lot of people that don't like you, Soft, but that's okay. I'm glad to see you're here. So see, what happened was I figured that I could go back to that comment later on. I didn't have to stop because he interrupted my show. He's not interrupting my show. I interrupt my own show with something that made no sense. So there you go, Eric. That's how you do it. I know that I'm not a radio guy or anything like that, but done this for a few years. So I know kind of what I'm doing. All right.
A little bit.
Let's get to the 2024 in 2024. You guys are almost there, man.
Yeah.
It's close. So close. I think it's all right. But before we get started with this, have you figured out what we're going to do once you get there? Did you and Josh come up with a plan?
We're working on it. So yeah.
Okay.
So we've got 12% of a plan. No, he's got something in mind. So we're working it out.
Okay, good.
So it's in discussion.
So Josh is going to figure out what's going to happen, and he's going to let you know.
Yes. Well,
Okay,
I'll let you know. Shut up. Well, he does a majority of the work, but I think his feedback is very important because he's doing it, and he has some really good ideas. So I like them. So we talk about it.
You know something? I just thought of something. There could be a transbo cable. It wouldn't be. It'd be an adapter. And what you would do is you would plug it in. It would be male to male. That would turn it into a female. That would be the transbo, but it would be connector. So that does actually could happen. All right, let's get into the 2024 miles in 2024. Yes. Duchess is at 1,873, and Josh is, I mean, you guys are neck and neck.
We're very close, yeah.
It's amazing. You guys are, well, you just crossed out of Utah. You actually, this week, you went across the Four Corners where you would have been in Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona at the same time. I saw some girl get up, and she went to that spot where that's called the Four Corners. I guess it's a park or something.
Yeah, it is.
She went there, and she did a handstand, and then she walked, and she says, I walked on my hands through 4 states. So I thought that's kind of cool.
That's fun. Yeah, Josh is so close. I'm so close to catching up with him. I really am.
I know. And it's driving you crazy, isn't it?
Well, I know I'm gonna get my 20 miles on Saturday for sure. So that's my big hike is this weekend.
Okay. So and then
pray for nice weather.
Look at Mr. Decaf. He's coming up there. He's getting close.
Dragging you along.
We're in Colorado, 1,608 miles. Get it, Mr. Decaf. I appreciate you.
He's hauling.
All right, so Josh sent us a note.
Yes, I have a recap. So, after hiking together for a month, the Duchess and I parted ways at the Colorado border. What little lead I had built up running a pair of half marathons earlier this month will be offset by her mammoth march this weekend, and I expect the race to be down to the wire as we close in on Sin City. Before crossing into Arizona, the recently self-proclaimed size queen, thank you, John, stopped at Memorial Rock Boulder of Near Death in Dolores, Colorado. On May 24th, 2019, an 8.5 million pound sandstone boulder broke loose, rolled 1,000 feet down a hill, plowed a 15-foot wide trench through Colorado Highway 145, and came to rest in a field on the other side. Even though Highway 145 is a heavily traveled road, no one was injured and only one vehicle was dented. Can you imagine trying to explain that to Jake at State Farm? Mr. Decaf, also known as Matt, has been wearing out the soles of his shoes this month with John on his shoulders. John at least cut him some slack last weekend. It didn't make him carry him on his tunnel to tower race. Congrats on that, by the way. You wouldn't catch me driving that tunnel, never mind running it. Tonight, they are in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, the resting place of 1800s gunslinger Doc Holliday. Can anyone else hear John on the Mr. Decaf's backs going, I'm your Huckleberry? Bonus points if you say it in the accent. There's a link for that. Oh, okay. I passed through Thompson Springs, Colorado a few weeks back and stopped off at a gas station / mini-mart named Jackass Joe's. Also known to the locals as Area's Stupid, I picked up a bumper sticker for Air Force One. Now that I've finally reached Utah, I decided to catch an NHL preseason game at the newly relocated hockey franchise here in Salt Lake. It's too bad they are still the trash team from Arizona with different branding. Yes, I know. John doesn't care about hockey. This is where he glosses over and the I don't care clip plays in his mind. He played on the show if he could figure out how to make sound effects work. Fuck it, I'll fix it in post. Hopefully we'll be at the penny slots before next month's recap. Your fellow walker, still not Jason. Signed, Josh.
There you go.
I love his recaps. They're so much fun. So much fun. He does a great job writing these. We need to hear the I don't care now.
So I have it on here. I don't know if I have it on here yet. I'm still trying to get stuff into the into here. I don't have the I don't care one yet.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
He did put the link in for the Doc Holliday clip, which is great, from Tombstone, if you've ever seen that with Kurt Russell.
Well, where is it?
He put it, it was literally in the notes that he sent.
Oh, I didn't see it.
There's a YouTube link.
I just grabbed the thing like I normally do. No one told me there was an extra.
That's okay.
I apologize. I did not know there was an extra thing there. I was very busy.
That's okay. I think most people, you're a busy little guy, hustling and bustling.
All righty. I think that's it. You got anything else? Did I miss anything that I can think of? Oh, I'm sorry. I got the Philadelphia Eagles, my team.
Oh, we didn't talk about fantasy football at all.
We didn't talk about fantasy football. Yeah, because you know why? Because I'm getting my ass kicked every week. I got my ass kicked by Rhymes with Nothing this week, and he auto-draft.
I know.
So I get to play my daughter this week, which should be fun. And the team, she got we traded quarterbacks. I traded her.
So you ruined her.
Jalen, yeah, I traded that, and I got Patrick Mahomes, and then she got it, and it's the bye week, so she has to put in her backup quarterback too. So I feel bad for her. But
I play your other daughter this week.
Oh, you do? That should be pretty good. Oh my God! And you played the fake fan this week, and how close was that? Were you sweating near the end?
It was, and let me tell you what. When it first popped up, like last week, I think we talked about it. It popped up, and I'd made some changes, and it like dropped me. I was at like maybe like 40%, and I swapped a couple people, and it dropped me down to 20. I'm like, oh, put it back. And it got to the point. I'm like, there's no one else I can swap out. Like it just has to be this way. And because she had a Thursday night game, and then she played early on Saturday. So a lot of my team really activated later Saturday or Sunday games. A lot of my teams activated later for Sunday. And then she had people on both games on Monday night. So it was a nail biter to the end. I had to wake up Tuesday morning, and literally the first thing I did was I shut my alarm, and I'm like, did I win?
I think it was like 7 points or something like that. It was really close.
It was very close. So I was sweating it because I'm like, she's a fake fan. I can't let her beat me. But she had some good picks in there for sure. For sure. I don't know how she got him.
Swapped out her kicker, she would have beat you. The kicker had
she would have
like
if I had a different kicker. Yeah, it was very close. I think it was under 10 point difference. I don't remember exactly how much, but it was definitely under 10. And it was a good game. It was a good matchup. I had fun with it because I was sweating because I was not slated to win most of it. And then towards the end on Sunday, like like you watch the percentages, and I'm like, oh, it's looking good. And then Monday, I'm watching her percentage get closer, and I'm like, no, it's not good. This is not good. But it was definitely fun, and I feel bad. There's so many injuries.
I know.
I mean, Mr. Decaf, his team is like decimated.
It's crazy.
Like,
I mean,
he's not doing good.
Next year, we're going to have. Sorry. We're only going to have 8 teams in a league because this way you can get other players and you can make it competitive.
But it is competitive because you have to hustle now. Now, instead of like you're able to like load your team up with all the top players, now you have to really kind of scramble a bit. And it makes those top players like spread out. So I'm kind of not mad at it because it made me look. And I did auto draft for like the last chunk of it. And a couple people I've auto drafted have done very well. And I'm like, I should have done this earlier. Because the auto draft will just take the top player of whatever is at that, whatever's open, and just you get that top player. So I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of people are doing well.
Yeah, well, my team sucks, and we're going to 8 teams because I want better players. So I
had a question for you. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's your question?
Well, I was going to say, since you said you had to get the Jamingo stench off Jalen Hurts, but you gave him to your daughter, who's the same as the Jamingo anyway. Well,
yeah, but see, I'm a mush.
It's not you.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the mush. So I gave it. And he played like shit anyhow. He threw an interception.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So they played so bad. I mean, the Eagles didn't have a first down until 6 minutes before the half.
Yeah.
And, and then they came back a little bit, but then they lost. So this guy here is basically me as he melts down about the Eagles.
This is what being a fan is about. This is what being a fan is about. We're down 24-7, and I'm still screaming, "Fly, Eagles, fly!" What the fuck is wrong with me? I mean, I knew we wasn't really going to score like that going into the motherfucking game. We don't got half our fucking lineup, O-line and wide receivers. I didn't think we was going to score, but I didn't think we would let up 24 points to fucking Baker Mayfield before half. Oh, they got the Bucs have a good game plan. They had a good bro. Baker Mayfield ran a read option and ran through a fucking quarterback's chest to get a touchdown. He's a quarterback. Your job is to hit. Your job is to tackle. You can't tackle a fucking quarterback? What are you doing? Baker Mayfield ran a read option, walked through one of our quarterbacks, stood in the end zone and stood over top of you. He might as well shot you right there, bro. You got no stripes. Take your fucking Eagles jersey off. I don't give a fuck if we lose by 50-5. Have some fucking heart. Don't let nobody just walk in the fucking end zone. We paid you $25 million. $25 million to let Baker Mayfield walk in the fucking end zone? Dog, what the fuck is going on with you? Y'all got Michael Strahan at halftime talking through his fucking gap about how bad the Eagles is. I smacked the shit out of the whole fucking lineup. Fuck wrong with y'all? Get some heart and get inside the fucking game and make shit happen. Oh, that shit made me so fucking angry. You would have thought that motherfucker was Cam Newton. You would have thought that was Saquon on the other team. It's fucking Baker Mayfield.
So I think he's a little something on Baker Mayfield, but he was very. His voice kept going up and up and up and up. Sparky says, "Stop spitting on me." Boomer Bob weighs in with 295 to the goal. Everyone, come on, let's knock this out and get a win.
Knock
for the
this out for the
Jamingo.
win. Oh my God! So I am enjoying. So who are these podcasts? Or actually, the guy from Nobody Likes Onions on Fridays. They used to do the show where they would shit on Stuttering John all week. Well, they've changed it to and they call it This Little Piggy because he's a pay piggy. Aaron M. Holt from the Steel Toe Morning Show, and they go over what Aaron has done that week. And I'm sorry, it's just delicious. I can't believe, again, when I first started watching the show, it's not the show that's there now. When I first started watching the show, it was enjoyable. He could hold an audience. He did pretty well with it and all. And then all hell broke loose. He lost his wife. They got a divorce. Now he's in trouble for sending revenge porn. It's just, he's going to court. He might have to go to jail.
Oh, well.
I mean, there's nobody there that has talked to him to allow him to, or maybe they did, maybe they don't. He changed his whole studio around. It looks horrible. His camera angles are bad. I don't know. And he keeps coming on there and he keeps begging and begging for money. And people
keep
worse.
giving him money. It's disgusting.
But it's getting, in other words, the begging is getting so bad now that the best part of the show is the begging, is to watch him melt down and hug himself and, I can't do this. I'm going to have to go get a job. And it is, when I defended the show, it wasn't the show that it is now. I'm just going to say that. That being said, I thoroughly enjoy the meltdown of him trying to make the goal every week. And
you should pair up with Eric Zane.
He is Eric. Eric Zane is the steel toe of Grand Rapids, Michigan, or wherever the fuck he lives. Is that where he lives? Grand Rapids?
Desperation. Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's the same thing. He is. Eric is the steel toe of Grand Rapids, Michigan, in my humble opinion.
Steel toe of all dormers. There you go.
Bob says, what job could he get? Well, I'll tell you one thing about Aaron. He is a salesman. He could, Hudsonville.
Yeah.
That's where he is.
Hudsonville, yeah.
Hudsonville.
Oh, watch it.
Aaron
The police will show up.
He could be a salesman. He could be some kind of salesman. Yeah, he's got the gift
full
of
of
gab.
shit. He could, yeah. You know what? I have never found him entertaining. Like, you would talk about him, and I before all the bullshit with him, I don't know why. I think I've told you, he's yelly. There's something about his manner. And I never liked the way he talked to his wife when she was on. And I don't know, there's just something about him. So
I guess you have that some kind of what would you call that? Women's intuition about him.
Maybe. I just didn't care for his. I don't like the beg. Like, it's such a shameless beg all the time. I don't care for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I didn't listen enough where I thought he actually said anything funny, because I feel like it wasn't funny. And most of the time I tuned in, he was just begging for money anyway. So
yeah, I introduced the show to
it.
Mike, and Mike liked it, and he says, "I got your back on that. Steel Toe was a much better show a year ago. Total nosedive since." I don't know. It's almost like I said. You don't know how long it's going to last, but it's you definitely know that it's going down.
Police, that's how long this show's going to last. Be like, we have a warrant. Shut it down. Yes. Shut it down. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's how he's going to go out.
But anyhow, this little piggy is on YouTube. It's on the No One Likes Onions. I don't know what you would call it. His channel. So if you were a fan of Steel Toe and you like actually going to watch this shit show go on. No one does this better than Patrick Melton when he talks about steel toe. I mean, it's amazing. And that's
he
the guy
eviscerates him. I
Yeah,
actually
and that's-
I listened to him a couple of times, and he made me laugh because he just he'll put a clip on him and he just roasts him. It's so mean. I laugh. I'm just I thoroughly enjoy this, and I don't know most of the players. I don't know anybody other than a few, but just to hear him destroy him, it makes me laugh. It's so mean.
I love it.
Because I just don't care for him so much. I'm like, this guy's funny.
Yeah, steel toe would he would say, this show, this show's got to go on. I got to make this much money, and Patrick would go, he says, this is a good show, and Patrick would go, it's not.
It's really not. Yeah, and he was not mellow about it.
Patrick Melton basically took that show and destroyed it. He talked about his wife so much that his wife quit the show. And that's what started all the trouble because they were picking on her.
I feel bad.
Women can't take that.
They were mean to her. Well, they were mean, but she didn't help herself by going onto his show. And I'm not saying she was asking for it, but she went on very scantily dressed. I don't know.
Not at first.
I feel like she put herself in some danger. I will say danger, quote, quote. But she kind of placed herself in that situation. I don't know if he was looking for her to come on or because he had no host and she needed to come on. Because I didn't find them entertaining.
I did. Whatever. I did at first, but then
that's okay.
Since
because she's cute, you're watching her. I get it. It makes.
I don't think it was that. I enjoyed the back and forth between them. I thought she was his best co-host, to be honest with you.
Probably was.
But he's
chased
kind
her
of
off.
like Eric Zane, where he's alienated all his fans. There was people that used to be his moderators and stuff like that. They go on shows to just break his balls. I think next Wednesday, I got to double check. I'm probably going back on the BYB podcast with Jody B and
oh, nice. Share the link when you do.
Yeah, and then we'll go on there, and then those guys will call me a simp for steel toe. It's not the way anymore, but
no, not quite.
Bob says it's hard to believe Aaron was doing $20K a month on Twitch at one time.
Really? He was bringing in that kind of money?
Yeah. And then he got thrown off of Twitch, and then he went to YouTube, and it's slowly going down and down and down and down. Well, when he was on radio in Minnesota, he was also doing Twitch at the same time. So when he went to commercial breaks, he would go on Twitch. He built an audience from there. Then when he quit the show, he just went and started doing Twitch.
He just
and
took
they said
the
he
audience,
was making $20,000 at Twitch. Well, that's what Carl says anyhow from WATP. And at that point,
that's someone who's making some fucking money.
And at that point, he must have done something, and Twitch just, poofed his channel. So then he goes to YouTube, and it's the whole super chat and all that. But again, I think that he's dumb. There's ways for him to make money. Oh, here's the other thing here's the other thing that this little piggy show does. They've got to make the goal, so it's the whole goal. And what Aaron does is because YouTube takes 30%. So if he gets a $10 super chat, he goes, okay, we take 5 of that. That goes towards the goal and then $2 super chats, they don't even count that towards the goal because that's only like $1 or something. Mm-hmm. And so if someone gave him $100 through there, he goes, okay, we take $70 from that, and that goes towards the goal because YouTube gets the other. When I first started listening, the $100, the whole thing came off the goal when I first started listening. Then, he started taking,
costing him money. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then if he gets money on PayPal or Venmo I don't think takes anything. Maybe they do take a percentage, but he still takes I think he takes the 30% off. It's a whole shit show over there, and it's fun to watch. I'm sorry, I love watching it. All right, everybody.
It's slow burn. Wait, one more thing. I didn't share what happened to me at the gym last week.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to.
Well, we didn't have the opportunity to bring it up. So, real quick. So I go to the gym usually every morning. I'm there by 5, and I'm usually wrapping up to leave by 6:30, 6:40, however the time works. And I noticed an older woman who was down there quite a bit. You see the same people. So I finished working out, and I'm getting ready to leave, and she comes over and starts talking to me, and I'm like, and I usually don't talk to anybody at the gym. Occasionally, there's one gentleman we talk Steelers stuff. and bitch about them. And then he moves on and we move on. And that's the end of that. So she came up and started talking to me. And of course, I got my AirPods in. So I'd take them out and ask, her to repeat herself. So she introduces herself and she's like, well, I see here you're working really hard. Isn't it difficult to get up in the morning? And I'm like, no, I'm used to it. I kind of try to do this every day. Today I didn't, but most every day I try to, that's my goal. So small talk a little bit there and the other. And she goes, well, and she says, I'm having a Bible class later today. Would you be interested in attending? And I said, no.
You're not
No. I was like, no, thank you. Absolutely not. And she's like, are you sure? I mean, I said, no, I'm working. I'm not interested in that. I appreciate the offer, but thank you very much. But no. And she still kept, at this point, I've now said no twice. One more, she keeps trying again. And I was like, I'm not interested. Thank you. And literally walked away from her. Like at that point.
So what do you think she was? She was trying to.
She wanted me to go to church with her. She wanted me to go to her church.
I think she was trying to get, wasn't
tongue punch my fart box.
No,
you don't think so?
I hope not. Well, that's not where I was thinking. I was like, I'm not going to church. No.
So you basically had someone over there trying to recruit you to the Lord?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does she know who you are? I mean, does she know that what?
I have never met this woman in my entire life, and she thought that today was the day that she's going to come up and try to get me to go to church.
Oh, stop.
No?
That was my initial reaction, was like, stop. I don't want to deal with this. I am not in the mood at 6:30 in the morning for much of anything. But, it was just like stop.
Does she
like
know
that.
your
Of all the
song?
people that talk to me in the gym, it's this woman about Jesus. She's like,
does she know your song?
No, my God, shut the fuck up. Oh, great. Now you got Dino fired up there.
Sure do.
Tongue punch my fart box. Tongue punch my fart box. Tongue punch my fart box.
Oh, stop.
He palmed my breasts, his thumb flicking over my nipple. Cried out and he buried himself in me with a mighty stroke.
Everybody.
Tongue punch my fart box. Tongue punch my fart box. He made me come.
Oh.
Tongue punch my fart box. Tongue punch my fart box.
Stop.
Give me your cream.
Oh.
Fuck me.
Stop.
Mike Pellerito is a genius.
Oh,
All right,
Mike.
everybody. Get her email. We're going to send her that song.
Well, pray for good weather this weekend.
Yes.
No rain.
No rain for the Duchess. Hope she can get her 20 miles in.
Yes.
All right. Are we going to...
That's okay, Sparky.
Discord after this?
We're going to Discord. Yes.
All right. We're going to Discord. Meet us over there. All
Join
our
us.
links to follow us.
Follow our show.
Social media, get into the Discord. They're all in the show notes right here. I take time to put these links in there. Go to the damn links and follow us.
Yes.
I'm not doing this for my health, damn it.
Smash that like button, subscribe, follow us.
Yeah, all that good stuff. All the stuff. All right.
Join us in Discord.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.